Elena Rybakina versus Aryna Sabalenka. It's the women's final at the 2023 Australian Open here on Advantage Receiver. Hello everyone and welcome back to Advantage Receiver. We are mere hours away from the Australian Open final between Elena Rybakina and Aryna Sabalenka. But who is going to win the match? That's what we're here to do today. So both these players, one has been to a Grand Slam final before, and one, that would be Rybakina winning Wimbledon last year. And Sabalenka has been knocking on the door the last couple of years to get to a final, and she's finally broke through here down in Melbourne. Their draws look a little different, honestly, how they got here, but we're going to break that down here a little bit. So, who has the edge tonight? Well, let's see. So far, head-to-head, is 3-0 in favor of Sabalenka. She's won the three times they've played. They've all gone 3 sets, so it's not like it's been one-sided for Sabalenka. They did play at Wimbledon 2021, which is a win for Sabalenka. Obviously, the next year, Rybakina won the whole thing. But let's delve into the players and see who has the edge going into the final tonight. So first of all, Rybakina, like I said, this is her first major final other than Wimbledon, so she knows what it takes to get to the end of a tournament. Like I said, Sabalenka hasn't gotten to a final yet. This is her first final and a major. So the both semifinals were kind of similar in score. They both had a first set tiebreak, with Rybakina taking the first set tiebreak over Azarenka, and then Sabalenka taking the first set tiebreak over Lynette in that semifinal. In the second set were kind of similar scores as well. Rybakina won the second set over Azarenka 6-3, and Sabalenka won the second set over Lynette 6-2. So Rybakina dropped only one set towards the finals, which was against Collins in that match against Danielle Collins, and Sabalenka has not dropped a set. So again, they're getting through the matches pretty consistently, I would say. Sabalenka, her draw has been a little easier in my opinion than Rybakina's. We'll go over that in a little bit too, but Rybakina, I think, has had the tougher task of getting through these matches, and we'll talk about that too. Rybakina and Sabalenka definitely look to be the part of the final tonight. They're both big hitters, both great servers. They both have really good serves, especially Rybakina. Rybakina leads the women in serves and aces in this tournament with 44, ahead of everybody else. I think Sabalenka has like 29, so definitely a good edge on the serving for aces from Rybakina. When she gets her serve going, she's tough to stop. So Rybakina in her semifinal against Azarenka, she was actually up 5-3 in the first set, and Azarenka was able to break her back. But she also became, they ended up going to a tie break, and Rybakina won that 7-4 in the breaker. And then she served for the match at 5-2, got broken, and then Azarenka was able to hold serve, and Rybakina broke her to win the match 6-3 in the second set. With Sabalenka, she got broken in the first game of the semis, and Lynette was actually up 2-love. But Sabalenka evened it up. They went to a tie break. Sabalenka won that tie break easily, 7-1. And then it was kind of back and forth a little bit in the beginning, but then Sabalenka broke to go up 2-1. And then she took a 5-1 lead before serving it out, and at 5-2, and she won 6-2 in the second set. So Sabalenka has not lost a match all year. Sabalenka is undefeated. She's 10-0. Rybakina 7-2. Like I said, this is their second meeting in a major, like I mentioned before, the Wimbledon fourth round in 2021 for those two. Now I kind of go over this section here. Like I said before, the draws, they can kind of tell the tale of who is playing better at this point. Now, like I said, Sabalenka has not dropped a set. She's playing very efficiently. She has not really had any issues with the serves like she did last year with all those double fault issues. But she's turned it around. She's serving very well in this tournament, and she's really got rid of that double fault issue that she had last year. Rybakina, no one really, I think she wasn't exactly a person that we looked at as a player to get to the final or do this well, because of people ahead of her that people were looking at as contenders. Pegula, Goff, Świątek, Collins, Jabeur, Garcia, those type of players people were looking at as potential champions here. And I think Rybakina kind of got forgotten about, but again, she has won a Grand Slam, so she knows how to win one of these things, and now she's doing it on hardcore as opposed to grass. So don't take her lightly. I would definitely not, but it's going to be a good match tonight, I believe. And then, so my keys to victory, I think, you kind of break it down this way. Obviously, Rybakina, I think, has the better serve, is more efficient serve. They both serve really big. And I think Sabalenka's ground strokes are better than Rybakina's off the forehand, and the backhand, she's got really good, powerful ground strokes. But I think the serve is definitely in favor of Rybakina. Ground strokes, I would go with Sabalenka. And then as far as like the net game, I'd probably go with Rybakina on that one, only because she's really good at Wimbledon doing that. So I think she's able to shorten the points early, especially with that dominant serve. So I definitely would go there. Movement, I would go with Rybakina again. I think she was a little bit better than Sabalenka. And the intangibles, the mental game, I would go with Rybakina again, honestly, because she's been in a major final before. She knows what it takes to win a major. And Sabalenka, like I said, she's been... Sometimes when you get into a major final for the first time, your mind is kind of cluttered. You're not really sure how to react to it, your situation. Like, you've been trying to get to this moment so many times. You finally get there, you're somewhat maybe relieved mentally to be in the situation, and you're not really focused on the match. Could that happen tonight? It's possible, but I think because Rybakina's been there, won a major before, she knows what it takes to get past the finish line and win the trophy. Sabalenka might just be like, oh, I'm happy to be in the final at this point. It's been so long to try to get here. I think Rybakina has her on the edge in that department. So, here's the point I wanted to make, and this is why I'll make my pick here in a second. Rybakina, through her draw, she's played Danielle Collins, Iga Swiatek, Elena Ostapenko, and Victoria Azarenka. Danielle Collins, Australian Open finalist from last year. Iga Swiatek, world number one seed, 3-time Grand Slam champion. Ostapenko, Grand Slam champion from 5 years ago at the French Open. Azarenka, former world number 1, a 2-time Grand Slam champion. That is really strong resume for Rybakina. Let's go to Sabalenka. She played Shelby Rogers, Elise Mertens, Belinda Bencic, Donna Vekic, and Magda Linette. That was pretty much her right there, okay? Shelby Rogers is a Grand Slam quarterfinalist, okay? Elise Mertens is a Grand Slam semifinalist. Belinda Bencic is an Olympic gold medalist. Donna Vekic has been to the Grand Slam quarterfinals before, and Sabalenka actually had a 1-5 head-to-head losing record against her. And Magda Linette never made it past the third round at a major. I think the scales kind of go in the way of Rybakina in that one, if I were to pick from that perspective there. I am going to go with Elena Rybakina in 3 sets. I think it's going to be a fantastic match. I think it's going to be a lot of heavy hitting. I think I could see it. It's tough to tell because no one saw this coming from Rybakina, and Sabalenka was one of the people that people thought was a favorite to win. She has finally gotten to the point where I think people are starting to believe that she can win these majors, right? Women's game is so wide open as far as some of the players sometimes. You know, even though Iga Swiatek is the dominant player in the women's game, you're never really sure, right? I mean, obviously, when the French Open rolls around, obviously, Iga Swiatek's probably going to win. But with other tournaments, you're not sure, right? So, is Sabalenka going to take it tonight? I don't think so. I think Rybakina is playing well enough to get over the finish line tonight. And I think if she's able to serve for it, she'll get over that because she's done it before. And I said before, my original pick was Ons Jabeur over Iga Swiatek in the finals. But once I saw Elena Rybakina completely outplay Iga Swiatek on that court, I was like, she's winning this thing. She's winning it. And she beat Ostapenko, and she beat Azarenka. And Azarenka was the sentimental favorite. And Rybakina got through those players without losing a set. So, if the serve is on for Rybakina, if her serve is on, it's going to be a long night for Sabalenka. I still think it goes 3 sets. I think Sabalenka will be able to battle and really fight her way through a set to win one. But I think in the end, when it comes down to the penultimate timing of the match, where it gets to the deep part of the match, I think Rybakina plays a little bit better, is able to win her second major title and win down in Australia for her first Australian Open. So, we will see what happens tonight. I'm looking forward to the final. It should be a good one. Hopefully it's not a dominant performance by either player. Looking for a good final. Rybakina finally get the points she was supposed to get at Wimbledon because she didn't get those points because of the situation at Wimbledon. It should be, I think the crowd, honestly, is going to be more supporting Sabalenka. She's more of the outspoken player. She's more of the high energy player. I think the crowd will rally around that. But I think Rybakina is able to manage all that and win tonight. So, I am going to, I'll say it one more time. My pick to win the Australian Open final for the women is Elena Rybakina. All right. That is going to do it for my breakdown and prediction of the women's final in the 2023 Australian Open. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, please leave a like. Let me know you're enjoying the content. Leave a comment down below. Who are you picking to win the women's final down in Australia? Is it Rybakina or Sabalenka? Let me know. And for everything going on down in Melbourne, keep it here to Advantage Receiver.